Hi, my dear friends. How are you doing today? I hope you're all full of energy for today's story. Today, I have a great story about bravery and courage. Are you brave yourself? Or are you scared of everything so easily? What do you do when you're frightened? And what are you afraid of the most? Well, listen to today's story and you will see that all of the good things will come to us if we can conquer our fears and we can be brave. Stay with me. Once upon a time, in a far northern land, there lived a boy with his mother. They were not so rich, but their house was always warm and they were so happy together. One day, the mother sent his boy to get some oat so he could make some breakfast with the oat and make some bread with those oats. So he went there and got the oat from the oatmeal. On the way back, the boy went to the mill and he bought the oats. He held the basket close to himself so that the oats would not be scattered by the wind. But suddenly, the north wind swept and scattered the oats everywhere in the town. The boy was so sad. He didn't know what to do. So he turned around and went to the mill again. He bought the oats and he was very happy. On the way back, he was singing songs and thinking that his mother would be really happy to see the basket full of oats. But suddenly, the wind blew again with its cold breath, and all of the oats were scattering all around the way. He was so sad. He didn't know what to do. He didn't have enough money. But he thought that he would go back and can buy a little less of the oats. He went back and bought the oats again. On the way back, again, the north wind blew, and all of the oats were scattered. He was very sad. Now he has no money left. Then he had to go back to home with an empty basket. He went there, and his mother was very surprised to see the basket. She asked him, "What has happened?" He said that the north wind blew all of our oats. I don't know what to do. But then he thought with himself. He said, "I'm gonna go to his house and I'm gonna ask for the oats." His mother said, "No, that is not a good thing to do. The north wind is not so good and they say that he's not so friendly." But the boy insisted. And the day after, he took the way into the forest. He was walking deep and deep into the forest. It was a dark forest, and it was getting colder and colder. He was a little afraid, but he knew that he has to conquer the fear and go into the forest. He went deep and deep and deep until he got to the north wind's house. He was so cold, his hands were shivering. When he wanted to knock, his hands did it by themselves. Knock, knock, knock. What do you think that the north wind would say? Well, come back and I will tell you. Welcome back, my dear Hodhod friends. Now let's see what the north wind said to the boy. He knocked. Knock, knock, knock. Suddenly, he heard a very loud and grumpy voice. "What do you want?" The boy was very afraid, but he knew that he has to say something. He said, "I'm sorry. Can you open the door?" The north wind opened the door, and he saw a little kid very cold on the doorway. Well, he was a little kind, and he smiled a little at him. The boy said, "The other day I bought so many oats, but you blew them away. I have to get back the oats." The wind said, "I'm sorry, I don't have any oats. But because you're so brave and so courageous to come here, I will give you a magical cloth. And it will provide food for you whenever you say, 'Cloth, cloth, serve the food.'" The boy was very astonished to hear what he was hearing. So he got the cloth happily and he went into the forest again. On the way back, it was very dark. The boy was afraid of darkness, but he had to go on. He went to the way and he found a little beautiful inn. He went there. And then he put the cloth on the table and said, "Cloth, cloth, serve the food." And all of the sorts of beautiful and delicious foods appeared on the cloth. The innkeeper was very astonished to see what he was seeing. Then he planned. He planned to steal the cloth. When the boy went to sleep, the innkeeper crept into his room and replaced the magical cloth with an ordinary one. Can you imagine that? He was a thief. The boy didn't notice it. The other day, he went out of the inn with the ordinary cloth. So he went home and he was very excited to tell his mother about the magical cloth. But his mother said, "Seeing is believing. I won't believe what you say until I see it." So the boy put the cloth on the table and said, the cloth, serve the food." But nothing happened. He said it over and over again. Yet again, nothing was going on. Nothing was appearing on the cloth. His mother was so disappointed, and so was he. So, the next day, he decided to go on the road of the forest. This time, he wasn't as afraid as he was the first time. He went and he was singing. And in the while, he was a little sad because the cloth didn't work. But he thought to himself, "I will go there. I will say that the cloth didn't work. The north wind is a little kind. He can give me something else." So he went there and knocked the door again. Knock, knock, knock. The sound of the north wind frightened him again. He had a very grumpy sound. "Who is it?" The boy said, "It is me. I was here yesterday. I want to tell you, the cloth didn't work." The north wind opened the door. The boy could saw in his face. He was a little angry. The boy said, while he was shivering, "I'm sorry. As I said, the cloth didn't work. Can you give me my oats back this time?" The north wind said, "The oats are scattered. I cannot give them to you." The boy said, "Then what should I do?" The north wind said, "Okay, you're so brave to come here again. So I will give you something else." What do you think that he will give him this time? Well, stay with me. I will tell you after the break. All right, my dear friends, let's see what the north wind gave to the boy. It was a piggy bank, but not an ordinary piggy bank. It was a magical one. The only thing that he had to do was to say the words, piggy bank, give me the money." And the piggy bank would give him all the money that he wanted. Isn't it just marvelous? He took the piggy bank and he went into the forest. This time, he was very happy. It was dark and he had to go to the inn that he went before. The little inn was so warm and beautiful. He enjoyed being there. So he had a nice dinner, and then when it got the time to pay the price, he put his piggy bank on the counter and said, piggy bank, give me some money." And the piggy bank provided him with all the money that he wanted. The innkeeper, that was a thief before, was very astonished to see what he was seeing. So, when the boy went to sleep, he decided to go and replace the piggy bank with an ordinary one. He went up there when he was sleeping and he crept into the room into the shadows. The boy was sleeping so soundly that he didn't hear anything. So he replaced the piggy bank with an ordinary one. In the morning, the boy woke up, very happy he was, and he went downstairs and bid farewell to the innkeeper. He was on his way on the forest and he was singing and he was playing with the animals. When he got home, he told the story of the piggy bank to his mother. His mother didn't believe him at first, but he said that, "You'll see, this is gonna work." His mother said, "Nothing is like seeing. I cannot believe what you say." So the boy put the piggy bank on the cloth on the table and he sang the magical words. Piggy bank, give me the money." Nothing happened again. He said the words again. Nothing happened. What was wrong, he wondered. His mother was very sad. What would you do if you were in his place, dear kids? It was very sad for him. The next day, he decided to go to the North Wind's house yet again. He was on the way. This time, he wasn't frightened of the forest, but he was frightened of the reaction of the North Wind. This was the third time that he was going there. Now, what do you think that it will happen? You will be with me, and I will tell you. Welcome back, my dear Hodhod friends. Now, let's see. This time, he was taking the journey into the forest for the third time. And he wasn't afraid of the forest and the shadows in it, but he was afraid of what North Wind's reaction may be. He knocked the door again with his shivering hands. Knock, knock, knock. The North Wind blew with his cold breath. The boy was very frightened. He was shivering and he said, "I'm sorry, but the piggy bank didn't work, just like the cloth. I don't know what's wrong. Can you help me, please?" The North Wind said, What is it now?" He was so angry at him. But the boy said, "I just want my oats back. My mom is hungry at home. I have to do something." The North Wind became kind again. He smiled a little bit and said, "Okay, this time I will give you something. It's a magical rope. You only say, 'The rope, tie me up,' and it will tie up the person who's stealing the things from you." The boy said, "I don't know. I can make food with rope." The North Wind said, "I don't have anything else. You can go with it or you can leave it here and go empty-handed." The boy took it and he was on his way. This time he wasn't happy at all. It was dark again and he had to go to the inn. He remembered something. While he was eating his dinner, he thought to himself while he was having dinner that, "Why every time that I come here, the magic is lost? Maybe it's the fault of the innkeeper." He thought to himself, "I know, tonight I will pretend to sleep, so I will see what will happen." When it was night, he went to his room and he pretended to sleep just like he planned to. In the night, he saw a shadow creeping in the room. And he was at first very afraid, but he knew he has to say nothing because he had to see what will happen. He saw the innkeeper. He came there and he wanted to replace the rope with an ordinary one because he thought that the rope is going to be magical like the two other things that he stole. Little did he know the magic of the rope will plan against him. He was taking the rope and suddenly the boy shouted, rope, tie him up." And suddenly the rope went around the guy and tied him up. He couldn't move anymore, and he was falling on the stairs. The boy took the rope and went to the innkeeper. He said, "You are a thief. You stole my piggy bank." He said, "No, I didn't steal anything." He said, "Yes, you stole my clothes as well. Give me that or I will never set you free." At first, the innkeeper wanted to give up, but then he saw that there is no way. And he said that, "Yes, I'm sorry, you can take them. They are on the counter." He went downstairs and took the piggy bank and the clock. He went into the forest road. He was very happy. He was singing, he was playing with the birds, and when he got home, he had a surprise for his mother. This time he said, "Look, I got all the magic back." His mother said, "No, this time it won't work either." But he said, "No, I got the real ones back." He put the cloth on the table, put the piggy bank on the counter, and sang the magical words. His mother was so astonished to see what she seeing. There was money and there was delicious food on the table. After that, they lived even more comfortably, and they never forgot to be kind to other people. They always had food, and they always had plenty of money. Also, they used their money to help the poor people. So now, did you like my story today? I think you do. It was a wonderful story about kind people and about how you should conquer your fear. If you don't do that, you don't know what will happen next. Courageous people are always successful. Now, stay with me. I'll be back with the morals of the story. Alright, my dear friends, you see, this boy has conquered a lot of fears. First, it was the fear of the forest and the darkness. Then, the fear of the reaction of the north wind. And those things he achieved was only because he was so courageous. You see, courage always pays off. Now, fear is a very normal thing. Everyone has them. The most important thing is that how you deal with them and how you conquer them. There's a hadith that Imam Ali says, whenever you're afraid of something, you should deal with the situation, because the fear of the thing is very much greater than the thing itself. Now, my little kids, how was this story? Did you enjoy it? I hope so. I will see you next time. Take good care. Bye-bye.